DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, Department of Government Efficiency was created like a few weeks ago, like 1 or 2 weeks ago, on the days following the election of Donald Trump. So it decided to appoint Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy as a board director of this new department of the U.S. government. It's a Department of Government Efficiency, as it says, is its mandate is to give the government, the U.S. government, a better view, a more efficient view, a more efficient approach of the spendings. And this department is starting to not to make suggestions or recommendations, but on the Twitter account of DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency, on the Twitter account, um, I there are some tweets that are concerning the spending last year spending of the federal budget. Federal budget last year was 4.47 trillion dollars in revenue. So when we're talking about revenue, we're talking mostly about taxes. So individual income tax, payroll tax, corporate tax, custom and sales tax over sales globally, and other sources of revenue. So a total of 4.47 trillion. So 447, and the total spending last year was 6.16 trillion. So the trillion were mostly done on social security, national defense, Medicare, big portion, assistance to individuals, new interest on debt, transfers to states, so assistance to states, obligations to different states, and other spendings. Okay, so this gives you a deficit of over 1.6 trillion dollars. So this DOGE, Department of Government Efficiency, its main job is actually to bring the government back to at least zero or to the green zone. So now the government is in the red zone for about 1.6 trillion, and the minimum that I think President Trump will require from this Department of Efficiency, DOGE, is to bring the government back to an area where at least the balance will be at zero. This is the worst case scenario, but the best case scenario is to actually bring the government to a green zone where the government will have some money left. So it's not really it's not really efficient for a government to have money left at the end of a year, of a budget year, because if you have money left and you're a government, it means that you're not doing enough to provide help. You're not doing enough to security. So a government, let's say it basically, a government on the 31st of December shouldn't have enough money left in his, let's say, in his pocket to spend. So the total budget should be spent by December 31st. So this means that everything that you planned went well. You didn't spend more than you projected. You didn't spend less. So the ideal balance is zero at the end of a year. So this means that you have provided the all the cares that you promised. You have to provided all the assistance to the population that you promised and everything. So so you get what I'm saying. So the balance should be zero. You shouldn't be at a position where you have money left. Let's say you have money left for defense. I mean, you could get for defense. It's understandable. So let's say for defense that you predicted that you were going to war, or you were going to provide new equipments to your army abroad, and then from the favor of the circumstances, the war ended before you predicted, then you have money left. Yeah, yes. In this case, yes, you're gonna have some money left, but this extra money you should um, immediately re reinvest it into something else, or relocated that money for to balance, let's say previous deficit, or to pay debts. Okay, so it means that you shouldn't have money left in your bank. Let's say, when I'm talking in your bank, of course you need a Federal Reserve when you're government, otherwise you you go bankrupt. People will lose trust in your money and in your currency, etc. I'm not talking about the Federal Reserve. I'm talking about the budget reserve. Okay, so the budget reserve should be at zero at the end of a year, fiscal year they call it. So Doge, one of the area that Elon Musk is planning to, let's say, a remodeling of um, from Elon Musk will be in the spending for the army, okay, for the U.S. Army. And in a tweet, exactly in a tweet from the Twitter account of Doge Department of Government Efficiency, one of the tweet that if you go to X, you will see that one of the tweet is that uh, they Doge tweeted that Pentagon can't fully account for over a hundred $824 billion that have been spent, and they can fully give the trace of that money. 236 billion in improper payments in federal programs in 2023. 236 billions in proper payments. I don't even know that what that means. When you say improper payments, it means that payments that you shouldn't have done. 200 billion in pandemic relief went to fraud. Um, and also the U.S. failed to track 1 billion to Ukraine aid. Okay, so in Ukraine aid, so $1 billion were supposedly uh, directed to aid Ukraine in the war, but the U.S. government can't track that money. The U.S. government can't track 200 billion in pandemic relief allocated to the Pentagon. The U.S. government cannot track either $236 billion in improper payments uh, to several federal programs that were done with the federal program that were supervised by the Pentagon. Okay, and there is another $824 billion that the Pentagon cannot answer for it. So the Department of Government Efficiency is targeting over, let's say, 800 billion plus 236 plus 200 plus the Department of Government Efficiency is trying to find, let's say, one over 1.2 trillion dollars spent by the Pentagon. So $1.2 trillion spent by the Pentagon. $1.3 trillion spent by the Pentagon are not traceable by the department right now, as we speak, as are not traceable by the Department of DOGE, Department of Government Efficiency. My thought on this is that Elon Musk is touching a sleeping bear. The Pentagon doesn't play with its reputation. The Pentagon doesn't play with people poking around in its affairs. The Pentagon has this reputation to be like untouchable almost. Okay. And let's say on a security point of view, can you really um expose the Pentagon budget? Can you really, I mean, yes, you have a budget for your army, you have a budget for your defense, but how much is that budget? And it's always something that's supposed to be adjustable because you don't know what threat you face. So a country like the United States of America is constantly under the threat of other groups. And each time one of these groups emerge or is created or is threatening the US, you need to respond. You need to respond fast. Sometimes it's critical to respond in the next 36 to 72 hours. And what's gonna happen when and what happens usually when those threats arrive is that the budget is allocated or a special committee is created, and this committee needs budget and needs will make recommendations and stuff, and those recommendations usually it's billions of dollars. Let's talk about war abroad. Let's say a war in Ukraine, war in other countries. The war in Ukraine wasn't in the budget. So if let's say Ukraine is going at war and you want to aid Ukraine, you want to provide them some weapons so they can fight back. Let's say you want them to fight back, you want it to save their territory, you want it to defend themselves, and you decide to allow them some weapons, some materials. So those materials are materials that you're going to take from um your own materials, your own inventory. So it means that you need to replace your inventory. So um so when you replace your inventory, it means that you need to uh, require more funding. You need to ask for more funding. You need to buy or create or produce more weapons. You need to order more weapons. So everything that I just said are potentially actions that will increase considerably your your budget, your Pentagon budget, your army budget. So this is my view on this. This is my personal opinion. You're entitled to have yours. I I I personally think that a budget for your army should be secret. When I say secret, it's not like you giving those guys a green card to spend everything they want. No, it's a secret. It has to stay restricted in a special small group. Only a small group of people should be allowed, or when you discuss about those things, it should be done with closed doors. It could be done in the Senate, okay, in the House of Representatives, But when you're voting those budgets, that those things should be high sealed and protected by secret, because as I just said, that you don't know how much you're gonna spend for your army. If your country was doing something serious, yeah, a country like the United States could never tell how much it's gonna spend at the end of the year for its army. So Elon Musk and Vivek, they are poking. I think they're starting on the wrong foot. They're poking the bear while he's sleeping, and it doesn't really make sense to ask to it. I think it's not a wise decision um, to ask the Pentagon to give you some account of their spending. I mean, there. I think this is something that you should um, secretly suggest to the president to look into it secretly. I said, okay, you should be Vivek, Elon, and the president. You should talk about those things secretly, privately with the president. And if the president, what normally what he's gonna do is gonna consult other people on the matter, and they will advise him wisely. So it is not something that you go and tweet about. Elon Musk, you starting with the wrong foot. There are many, many, many other areas that you can, let's say, you can look into to give your government a more efficient way to govern. See you tomorrow, guys.